Hello and welcome to our show. My name is Alexey Presnov, and this is YouTube channel of Analytic Energy Agency. And today we are again with you with our broadcast here in English language. As you know, time to time we produce that kind of things, and I think this time could be the last one in this year at least. Because it's not in great demand. I would put it mildly. We see that's not so many views of those videos which we issue in English. But the thing is, actually, we produce that kind of things for our English-speaking followers because in the beginning when we just started our YouTube channel, we got some response, some feedback where our English-speaking viewers and our English-speaking subscribers, there are some of them, they asked us to produce that kind of things, just to review what is happening in Russia and Kazakhstan. And actually, what you can see here, it's our, it's a page of our website. It's open here. It's Analytic Energy Agency. And when we just observe who go on our website, who come to us to view our materials, we see that there are some international subscribers there, some visitors, at least it's not subscribers probably, from the United States, from Singapore, for instance. Lately we had like quite substantial amount of those visitors from Singapore, from Canada, from Europe. Therefore, we produce that kind of things. And I just want to remind you that if you want to see some, to get into details and to see some more materials on the matter, so you always can go on our Russian videos, and all the English subtitles are available there, so we can see what it is, or at least you understand what we are observing. And but we will see, because actually, as you know, we produce materials about power sector of Russia and some Central Asian countries, mostly Kazakhstan. And I can tell you that since our last time when we met with you, there were not many events happened. I would put it so. Actually, both countries are very similar in terms of, we can call it as a lost year, because a year ago in Russia, for instance, they have adopted a new general scheme of energy objects placement up to 2024. It's 18 years document. It's a kind of strategy, what kind of where the industry will be developed, in what directions, and so on, so forth, and about all those generation and grids development. It's kind of no, it's not a obligatory document, but at least it gives the directions where the industry will be developed. And we can see that actually nothing happened since that, because there were many discussions on that, and those conferences from different stratas of our community, energy community. But the reason is obvious, because Russian economy is kind of, especially this year, it's as they call it, it's softly landing, because in 2024 and 2023 also it was a little bit overheated. Because of obvious things, also it's governmental expenses with regard to especially this military sector, and therefore we have obtained and we have received high inflation and high interest rates for a central bank rate. and therefore, investments became just impossible in many senses. Uh, and the previous model, which was built back in beginning of 2000s, also in 2010, it just doesn't correspond to those external conditions which are been which been created within the last 2 3 years, because all those black swans just came in. We understand black swans are, first of all, that's related with geopolitics, with these conflicts between Russia and Ukraine, and as we understand that the world is actually balancing on the brink of this much bigger conflict, especially in Europe. We can see that, we can watch that, and of course, all of us hope that all those peace negotiations, which are, invoked by the United States, and all these processes, ups and downs, we follow them. But so far, we can see that the prospects are very vague, and we understand that probably next year also we will have the same situation of the conflict, because to find a compromise, it's a very difficult thing, and very difficult solution. We're not, as I told many times, we're not specialists in geopolitics. Of course, I have my own opinion on all that, but I want to just leave it for you. The only thing I can say that the sooner all this will be over, the better will be for all of us, and for our industries as well. In both countries which we observe, in Russia in the first place, of course, in Ukraine. So it's obvious because we can see that both sides now are targeting our power object as well. Not only uh, in Russia, we have a lot of problems with all those oil refineries, and lately also some power stations were hit. And also it affects Kazakhstan as well, because Kazakhstan is very interdependent with Russia, because it's the economies are very intertwined, and we can see that their interest rates there, it's also very high. Central bank of Kazakhstan, it's about 18%. It's now higher than in Russia, because in Russia it's about 16%, even less, I guess, because just they change it so quickly and so fast. And the thing is, there is a deadlock in investment sector of Russian power industry in the first place, because with that kind of interest rates, it's very difficult to invest, and the current model of investment sector functioning is very obsolete. It just doesn't fit all those external conditions, because, as you know, as I told already many times, that we have quite efficient traditional market, but very obsolete, awkward and kind of cumbersome investment segment of the market, where we have multiple prices for old generations, for new generations, for modernizations, and we have a lot of political surcharges and that kind of things. It's not competitive at all, and kind of regulated asset base. Actually, it's which are normally used for greed and for all those monopoly sectors. But in Russia, they use it also in generation, in the investments segment of the market. And therefore, it's very difficult to to develop it. When everything was quiet and routine, so it worked more or less. And we know that all those GPM or capacity delivery agreements, which were created and invented in 2000, mid of 2000s, and they just brought investments into the sector. It's about 30 gigawatts of thermal powers, thermal power stations were built. Altogether, it's about up to 50 gigawatts of power were built, including some hydropower stations and some NPP and nuclear power plants. But now in this evolving external conditions, it just doesn't work because no one wants to invest in the sector, which actually IRR of which is it's about like 15%, up to 15%, but you have to invest with the central bank rate. It was used to be like 18 and 21%, and so it's more than 20% you have to to borrow the money, and of course it just doesn't work. And there is, as I said, there is no competition. Therefore, governmental commission just in manual mode appoints and designates all those companies to build here and there. But even though they just don't hurry to invest because again we see that some auctions are being held and nobody comes there. About 70% of modernization projects are postponed or cancelled, so it's kind of stalemate, and that is clear. And what to do with that? Of course, we need to restructure the whole market and the whole model, whole design of the market, and it's therefore it's a very interesting article which just was recently published, and now it's available on our website, and you can see it's under this it's page WhatsApp. It's called WhatsApp, and the useful materials. You can see AEA presents electricity markets around the globe and Russian electricity market, what to do, not to slide down to Kazakhstan. This it's a Выбор без выбора, which is choice without choice in English. And this is an article. We just published this big article. It's a long read, but it's in Russian for those who don't understand Russian. At least you can just make it some Google translation probably. It's about our general view, what to do in Russia and Kazakhstan, how to get out of this current crisis. In the world, we see this latest article or report from EA, International Energy Agency, and Modern Energy Market Design 2025, and I will open it again for you. It was opened in the beginning of our video, and it's called Electricity Market Design, Building on Strengths and Addressing Gaps. So it's available. You can read it. It's quite also long read. It's about 116 pages, I guess. We made the review on this article and this report in our Russian language video. So if you are interested to get into details, just go to this video and just switch on this English language subtitles, and I checked it out myself, and it's quite quite adequate to what I really was saying about that. I mean the English language subtitles, so you can just understand our point of view on that. I can tell in general, so it's interesting work. It's a little bit banal in terms of understanding what is going on, because all those most of those things are quite familiar to those who are who are in theme, who are engaged and in the in the industry for those specialists. But there are some, of course, very useful materials, some data, some collected for different jurisdictions, some peculiarities, and so on and so forth. So we can see that. Also, I expressed a little bit disagreement with this work because they, put it like long-term and mid-term markets are. For, in their opinion, it's just about those futures and forwards and power purchase agreements, and they consider, capacity markets as complementary mechanisms. In our understanding, it's also, I think it's an American understanding, it's a little bit different because, capacity markets are there, those long-term markets. It's a main instrument, and all those forwards and futures and even capacity, even power purchase agreements, they're kind of additional mechanism. But in any case, it's very useful materials there, very useful work. So just look at that and see what is, what is happening in the world in this field. As for Russia and developments in Kazakhstan, as I said, we are just in a deadlock. So 1 year has been lost. I think we need to sit down and to find a solution how to to proceed further on. To put it in simple words. Because otherwise it just doesn't work. We see that we're just losing time and nothing is happening, and all those problems, they mounts up, which we face, and but that is, we dedicated the article, as I said, in our blog, which is here, I think. Yeah, I can show it here. There's our blog, and this is a big article. You can see here the United States of America, this energy zones, but the article is about Russia and Kazakhstan. So if you are interested in that, so just go there and try to read it with Google Translation or something else, because it's not available in English. In Kazakhstan, if we just if we talk about Kazakhstan, for instance, for Kazakhstan is very simple. They continue that kind of emanating all optimism about what is going on in the country, because they have very good results of GDP growth and that kind of things. But if you look closely into details and get into details, and if you just listen to some economists of Kazakhstan, also some variety of opinions, you can understand that it's not the case. It's not. It's probably the government who tries to show that everything is fine. But in general, situation is very unstable there, very shaky, I would put it so. And in our industry, as I said, they have lost a year. They didn't, do anything with their market design. And still, they have this so-called single buyer model, which is very unstable there, because it's a lot of cross subsidies inside of this model, and it's runs to the bankruptcy, because the prices are, for those who are directly participating in the wholesale market, it's very high. It's about up to 40 tenge per kilowatt hour. And just if we just divide by 6, roughly it's gonna be like 7 rubles, and in Russia it's 3.5, 4 rubles. So it's almost two, 1.5 times higher than in Russia. And but the end users, they're protected by those subsidies, most of them, not only those who directly participate in the market, wholesale market. They are, they receive very high prices, and of course they translate those prices into their cost of their production, all those goods and commodities on the market. So they need to do something on that also, and also they have this. Just to remind you, the national project, so-called, up to 2029, and 1 year has passed, and nothing happened. Nothing happened because the volume of this project is about 13 trillion tenge, which is you have to divide by 500, I guess, 500 or something. So it's it's a very huge amount of money, but yeah, I don't remember exactly in dollars. Don't want to guess right now. I calculate it right now. But they have actually, used only like several hundred billions out of this actually 4 year left, and they have used only no, so it's not used actually, but invested on the 400, so several hundred billions of tenge, and the total amount is 13 trillion. So you have to understand that it's just nothing. And if they proceed like that, so we are going to prepare a special video on that. As I said before, the cost of the capacity, actually the price of the capacity, will be, not even doubled. It will be like 10 times higher than today. Today it's about 2 tenge per kilowatt hour. And next year it's 2.5 tenge. They already announced on that, so there are some publications on the single buyer website. But then it will be very, very steep ramping up of the price. It's going to be like by 2029, it's about 20 tenge, and of course it's just will be added to this. Today, prices are, as I said, about 40 tenge per kilowatt hour, and you have to, as I said, you have to divide roughly by 550, I guess, and then you'll get in US dollars. And that means that the prices will be by 2029, like in Germany or some other countries of Europe, is the most expensive ones. So of course it doesn't work for Kazakhstan, for its economy. The economy would collapse, and therefore they have to do something about that. But so far, as I said, they emanate optimism. They said everything is fine, and don't listen to any advices from a side. This is about it. What I want to just describe for you. As I said, probably it's the last one production of our videos in English this year. We will see also with regard to Kazakhstan. I already announced that in Russian, that we will see. Probably we will drop, this theme, this project to review and to observe what is happening in Kazakhstan, because we see that there is no interest from their energy community, power community, to our advices, and also we even met with we countered some kind of a negative attitude, but we haven't decided yet completely. So we'll see what happens, and in the beginning of the year, we will make a final decision. Thank you for watching, and have a nice December. Because I congratulate you with all those holidays like Christmas, New Year, and so on, and so because we have in all those are English speaking viewers, so they you know uh, rolling into the holidays season, and I think we'll meet with you sometimes in January probably. But anyway, goodbye, and thank you for watching. Thank you.